My name's Mary O'Brien, and I am the hostess of this event called Historical Haunts. We own the house of the Chalmers Estate.
When it was decided to move the Benjamin Barton house and the Craig log cabin, it was to be owned by Preservation Bloomfield. And Preservation Bloomfield would be responsible for all the costs associated with maintaining and preserving those two buildings.
There were a lot of people that were willing to donate to the original project job of moving it and doing the initial restoration. After it was done, everybody thought it was finished. But we have to maintain it, keep improving them, and they're old structures that need to have a lot of repairs, weather protection and so forth. So we have to have an ongoing fundraising effort.
Well, I think the drawing card is the house itself. This home is true to the 1920s. The bones look the same. Even the treatments of the plaster and the detailing and even the paraphernalia that they brought in, furniture, organ.
Most of the homes built in the 20s, although they look nice from the outside and look historic from the outside, have been greatly modified on the inside. So this was remarkable when I first came inside it tonight to see it in its present state.
We've tried to keep it within the era, so we don't modernize anything. We just fix what we can and try to keep it hand paintings and all that stuff you have to do to keep it to its original.
The last family that owns it now has been here about 30 years. They kind of added a little intrigue, like it might be haunted.
A lot of different hauntings have taken place here over the last 34 years. It's gone from lights coming on by themselves, talking dolls that start talking in the middle of the night when it's in the off position, noises. I actually witnessed a glowing little girl in the doorway, and some other stuff that's a little extreme. I never felt like I was in danger at all. One night I felt I was in danger, and it was a little scary. But I guess I asked for it because the night before, this haunting came and affected my one daughter. And I went out to the front of the house and I said, "You don't mess with my daughter, don't mess with my kids." I said, "You can mess with me, but not my kids." And that's what happened that night. They messed with me. I was being pulled from the bed and pretty much levitated. It was scary. By the time I woke up, I could hear the front door slam, like as if whatever came through came and did what they did, and then they left out the front door.
It was terrifying living in this house as a child. Like, I slept with my light on for years, literally every single night. He was a non-believer for a long time. People would complain about things going on in the house, and he thought we were all just crazy until one night, and it was the night your dad died.
Up in the attic, it used to be an unfinished attic, and it sounded like just furniture being dragged from one end to the other and back again to the other. And I said to my wife, "What is that?" And she goes, "I don't know."
So he goes up there, nothing was wrong. He came back down and my mom was like, "Are you a believer now?"
My husband said, "Oh, bring in a priest and we're going to have the house blessed." I said, "I want to bring in a clairvoyant and I want to talk to these people. I want to understand what it's all about." I really think what happened is the little girl died and I was in her bedroom. They wanted me out of there because it was her bedroom.
I'm not much of a believer in hauntings. I guess I'd have to see one to believe it. But it's an interesting story. Yeah, I know if they had the daughter that died. I have the newspaper article on that. It was quite a shocking thing to the Chalmers family. And so it rings true from that standpoint.
In the library, there will be group sessions as we have a clairvoyant there. She will do a reading and try to see what she can accomplish.
Whether it's coincidence or not, there could be a series of questions they'd ask, and some say, "Oh yeah, I hear Larry. Oh yeah, it was my dad, or I had heart disease. Oh yeah, my grandfather, So it's hard to say, but it's very entertaining. And some people are affected. There's one lady, she responded to some of the questions and she started crying, talking about her family and someone on the other side.
There's an F-R-A-N, Fran, Frank, or Fran? It is Fran, thank you. Okay, yeah, she is really trying to come through in a good way, honey. She's saying, Sorry she was a pain, okay? It was a lot.
I don't know, I don't want to poo-poo it, but it's pretty interesting. It adds a little complexity or a little complexion to the event.
They do have the same personality, even on the other side, okay?
Probably the most important thing is raising awareness too of what we're doing. People drive by and they see the cabin and the farmhouse, and sometimes they wonder what those are.
And come up the hill from Squirrel Road and see the Greek Revival house sitting on the hill there in Bowers Farm, actual house that was here in the 1840s, and then go a few feet further on, see the log cabin, which was also here about the same time frame.
An event like this is a good way to produce some funding, and we'd like to do some more of it.
I've always wanted to share this home with everyone. It's such a beautiful place. I've always wanted to share it. And I hope that they get a better understanding of preserving something like this. Definitely become more appreciative of these kind of estates and historical places.